Will everyone please join me in the pledge of prayer?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm going to go ahead and get started. The president's not going to be here, so I motion that Commissioner Matthews conduct the meeting.
All right, I'll call the meeting to order. Those presents are Darrell Baker, Charles Vance, and KK Matthews. Need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular session of Lincoln County Commission meeting that was held on September 15th, 2016 at 6 p.m. Sunday. A second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Public comment. We have Rick McDowell. You signed?
Were we gonna do the certificates for these folks?
Yes, let's do that. We have some certificates for the Camp Lakeview events that we had this summer. And I have a list of people here, and I'd like to read them off. And if you're here, I'd like for you to come forward and get your certificate. We have two here. Well, but I'm gonna go ahead and read them into record. First, and if you don't care, could you come up here and maybe we can get a picture? Rick, would you like to do this? Come up, get a picture with everybody that volunteered? All right, first we have the Lincoln County Republican Committee with Lisa Ramey here to receive that.
Thank you.
The Hamlin United Methodist Church, Centerpoint Baptist Church, Jason. Doorway of Hope Outreach, West Virginia Extension Summer STEM Program, Kathy and Rick Bennis, Pat Davis, and I think that's all we have.
These folks either provided free lunches for the kids, both of these people did, both of these organizations did, or folks also were just there.
No lunch. You had no lunch.
We approved the budget.
All right, 3, 2, 1. And go.
Thanks, Shannon.
Thank you. We'll pass that.
Yeah, I gotta slide out.
Rick, do you want
Oh,
to keep these or get,
Sure, I
mail these
will.
out?
Yes.
Huh? Yeah, we have, you're also on here for FEMA.
Yes. Yeah. Just an update, since the commission met the last time, we had a meeting with Congressman Jenkins, Kevin Jenkins, with Francis Holton and Phoebe and myself to try, the hope was that he might be an advocate to get FEMA to change and say that this should be a public assistance. Nothing's happened at this point. I think, Mary, did the letter, have letters gone out to elected people? Letters are prepared to go out to elected officials, maybe. Letters have been written, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Blank, Rick, I'm blank. Yes.
And I guess what I'd like, I don't think anything's gonna happen unless the commission actively calls up these people who know. I mean, I could call the governor, but he's not gonna know.
You're talking about the sewer systems over there?
Yes, yeah, those 19,
Along that
those
same
19
comment, when we
systems.
were down at Region 2 the other time, we made sure that they understood that some of that money they were talking about getting, that if we didn't get it through this way, maybe we get it through them there. So we're pursuing that also.
But I think if commissioners actually picked up the telephone and called Shelley Moore or, the governor,
Send
and
a letter as well.
there is a
No
letter.
letter, yeah.
You have the letter?
And Phoebe did speak to the governor directly the other day. We went up for another issue, but she talked to him directly about.
But I think the more we do that, especially, it's an election year, stuff happens, it'd be nice to,
And we had Senator Manchin in the county Tuesday, was it?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yesterday.
And I'm trying to make I didn't get a chance to go because I was working. I have some people talking to me.
Great.
We'll get it from
I,
that side.
I mean, I think if we, it's my understanding that, you know, if the state folks, if Jimmy Jeanette, if somebody says Jimmy, this has got to be public assistance, that he might be doing all this. All right, thank you. Because I don't, I mean, if we don't get, it's gonna be a mess.
All we can do is get turned down.
That's
We
true.
we can call and we can see where there's not.
The public safety thing that's gonna happen next is that the septic will, I think it'll back into people's homes before it goes directly into the creek. I think we might have this happen before.
Well, I think we're looking at it from out region too, as far as the safety issue too, you know, and I really think that that pocket, that amount, there's quite a bit of money involved in that, I think, and they're looking for projects that do cost things, and we know this one does.
Yeah. Great, well, thank you. Appreciate your effort.
Next on, public comment, Lisa Randy, Lincoln GOP.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry, maybe it was you signed in. I'm
Oh, no,
sorry.
I just wrote my name.
Okay.
I didn't want
Alan Holder,
to-
want to go ahead and speak?
Not sure exactly what I'm speaking on right now, but I had a couple things that I sent across the street to be approved. Were those what we're talking about specifically, or
Well, yeah, we had
what
on
you
the
and I had
agenda to
talked
be-
about, or,
Well, we had on the agenda to be approved.
okay.
Do you want to speak on that, or?
Yeah, I don't need to unless you have questions on
I
it.
have a question.
We received some Homeland Security money and some grants for a couple of different projects. One was about $65,000, the other was $24,000. The $24,000 grant was for law enforcement mobile radios that will allow us to start using those radios in a encrypted, secure manner as the drug trafficking has continued to increase. We've got too many documented cases that we're being listened to and everything's being said, so it'll give law enforcement some encrypted, secure channels for privacy reasons, and then the radios that are out there now, we'll bring them back and repurpose them to some other county agencies that may or may not need them. The $65,000 grant was also Homeland Security money, and it will be used to tie the tower site that we have at the 911 center to a tower site at Salt Rock to tie us directly into the state microwave system, which will give us some additional redundancy. So
Appreciate it.
I think that's the only thing I had. Mary, is that
And,
correct?
to open an account, but, I mean, it's all under new business.
We have it under new business.
Okay, you want me to just wait until then?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
All right, thank you. So, we'll move on to discussion and concern possible action. We have Mike Callahan.
Yeah, that's the one that we need to go executive session
Well-
again, if you want to do that.
We, go ahead. We don't have that, as far as an executive, we don't have that listed on our agenda to go in executive session. We're missing a commissioner.
Okay.
We had Mary try to call your office.
Yeah, she did, but we figured we'd just come down and, you know, been a while since we talked to you.
What we would like to do, I mean, if there's anything that we can discuss in open forum, we could do that. But as far as going into executive session tonight, we're not gonna be able to do that.
Okay.
Because we don't have that listed on the agenda. It wasn't specific whenever we got it.
Gotcha. Well, from the public standpoint, I just wanted to follow up from our meeting before, because the commissioners had indicated there was a couple of issues that we might be able to help.
Right.
And I think we sent a position paper down to you, and then really just didn't know how to proceed to kind of get with you and kind of discuss what some of your issues are that we might be able to help on, so,
Would you all be available to come October the 20th?
yes.
I think one of the things that I need to have before me, before we go into further discussions on this, is we have the information you sent us with our prosecutor,
Yes.
and I'd like to get some input back from him on how to proceed on this, and what we can and can't do in executive session concerning this.
Sure.
Because I know there's some concerns among the public and the press as far as us going into executive sessions and things. So when I felt it was, and I'll take the blame for it, is that we ought to have the prosecutor look at it and tell us exactly how he wants to proceed on it. We are, as far as I'm concerned, I'm still in the same position I was in before. I'm just trying to get some guidance legally from the prosecutor on how to proceed because of the different parameters of what we're looking at as far as costs and things of that nature. And I
Sure.
want to make sure what, as far as legal advice from him on how to proceed. But I think we all are in agreement as we were before. We're just trying to figure out the exact avenue we have to go here to get to where we need to be to do that. So that's kind of where we're at now. And with the president gone tonight too, it kind of, kind of put us in a position to where I don't think there's really anything we can do till we hear back from the prosecutor. And I didn't want you guys to keep bouncing back and forth without us hearing from him on it because we try very much to do what they tell us to do, and we'll try very much to get an opinion from him as soon as we can.
Sure.
That's kind of where we're at night.
Yeah, and that's fair enough. Again, we just didn't want to think that we were out there doing nothing. I mean, we were trying to follow up with you, and I think we can actually help you on some of your issues, and we certainly want to do that, so.
Well, we'll probably go ahead and tell the prosecutor maybe he might want to get a hold of you and talk to you about
Sure.
things that he has concerns with. That way we get it all worked out, so when we do get together, we get something done.
And if it's convenient for you, October the 20th, we can get some word back from the prosecutor.
Sure.
October the 20th, maybe we can set something up and figure out how we're going to discuss the
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
And
Sure.
we'll have him, for some reason, he can't give us some end result, but then we will have him call you and let you know where we're at on that.
That'd be great.
Now that way, because we're not trying to put you off, we just want to make sure we jump through all the legal hoops we need to here locally to make sure that this thing's done right.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, we definitely want to do it right.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you.
again, no, glad to come down to say hello, because we are still interested in helping. That's about what I wanted to relate to you, and we got that message done.
I appreciate it.
All right,
Thank you.
thank y'all.
Next on the agenda, we have to appoint appointment to the Lincoln PSD. We have 3 people that submitted an application. I know that Sam Ruby had submitted an application before and was turned down for someone else. I'd like to move to appoint Sam Ruby to the Lincoln PSD.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have to reschedule the auction for county vehicles and add vehicles to the list. Mary, do you have a date which would be convenient to reschedule?
I think the president wanted the 1st of November, which is a Tuesday, November the
Is
1st.
there a time?
10 a.m. here at the courthouse.
All right, you have a problem with that? No. Well, let's do that. I move that on November the 1st at 10 a.m. that we reschedule the auction and add vehicles to the list.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, Dave. Is that list of vehicles going to be made to the public?
It'll be advertised.
It is going to be advertised in the paper.
Okay, thank you.
Next on the agenda, we have to review the drug workplace policy and add it to the personnel policies. I think I would like to get some information from other counties, maybe from other entities that have a policy in place for alcohol and drugs in the workplace, and get that together and give it to the prosecutor. Let him look at it, to review it, to make sure that we have everything in place, and put it out to our employees, give them a comment period. So I don't think that we have any action that we have to take tonight, but I think that's something that we'll just be working towards. Okay. Next, we have Andy McKee with Region 2.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I just have a couple things here. We finally, goodness, got the release funds for a small city, so we are fully funded for the Lower Mud project, Phase 1, which is great news. I spoke to Rick Roberts last week regarding this project in particular, And he said that they are still, at that point, they were waiting on just a couple permits to come back. They had already been filed and everything like that, and there were a couple of easements that they were just waiting on signatures from. They said that as far as letters of intent and people signing up, they were going to have to change a couple people's minds, because I think his words were they needed 5 or 6, and there are only about 3 or 4 left that they hadn't talked to. So they were needing to try to convince a couple people, but it was down into the single digits before then. I haven't got a chance to speak to him regarding that, if there's been any change, but that's been about a little over a week ago, last time I talked to him about that. What I have today is I just have a budget amendment, although it's not really an amendment of everything. It just lines out the complete budget per line item that the West Virginia Development Office is wanting. You guys have already signed one that listed out the change for the 1.3 million added to the small cities funding to become fully funded. They need a complete line item amendment that just shows where all the other funds are coming from and things like that on their document. So that's all that is.
Okay, so, is it okay if we correct that right there?
Did I put, oh gosh, yes. Yeah. I'm sorry.
You might have to give us another, I'll go ahead and make.
Well, that's fine, I can send you my line, I forgot.
Well, I was gonna say, the president's one that signs this, right?
Correct, so I can
Yeah,
send you
Yeah, I
another
want
one.
you to
That's,
correct.
yeah, that's,
And we can go ahead and accept the amendment. I
Sure.
make a motion to accept the amendment as presented, give the president authorization to sign such.
I'll second that. All those in favor, say
Aye.
okay, and then this right here is actually the first drawdown from the Small Cities Fund. It is in the amount of $21,374.38. You got 4 invoices from Region 2 for $14,671.88. And we got one from Ron Flora, for law offices for $67,0250. And those were the 2 that we could actually draw down from small cities. We're trying to draw, whenever we have something that we can draw from small cities, they like to see movement. So we're gonna try to draw anything that we have when we can, just so they give us more money. But all this, like I said, you all need the drill. We got everything here. Now you all will be able to sign the commissioner's piece down here on the resolutions and the financial page and the cover page will need to be signed on.
Make a motion, we go ahead and approve drawdown request number 1 as presented, and give the president authorization to sign such.
I second that.
And what I can
All in
do,
favor, say aye.
Aye.
and what I can do is I can just leave those with you all if you want to review them. You're more than welcome to. And it's got all the originals in there. It's not a problem. If you just want to have those to me, I can just leave those with you. And Mary, I'll send you another one of these. I'll follow them.
No problem.
Y'all have any questions about that's where we're at this point?
Well, thanks, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right, moving on to unfinished business, possible action. You see, we have none. And we have the new business. Is there any questions on the new business? If there's not any questions, I move that we approve the new business.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. That being said, motion carries. Next, we have open discussion. I'll go ahead, it's all right. We have Jenna Jeffrey, who is here today representing Governor Tomlin's office. And I'm glad she came tonight. We've been talking with Governor Tomlin's office and some of our other state representatives and federal representatives about carriers, help getting carriers on our cell phone towers. We have a letter that we approved the last meeting to give to Governor Tomlin and some of the specifications for our cell phone towers. She was here tonight and to get that letter. And I just wanted to say I appreciate you coming tonight so we can get started trying to get these carriers on the tower. Thank you. Other than that, I don't have anything else. And if we don't have anything else, I move that we adjourn until October the 20th. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. We're adjourned.